Lily, look at Daryl checking his account balance on the phone, laughed Jade uncontrollably. Lily laughed as well. I give him an allowance of $200 a day. I suppose he's saved up quite a sum over the past 3 years. Oh Lily, just treat it as if you're rearing a dog, said Jade, prompting the three women to laugh in unison. Daryl ran to his wife in excitement and said, "Your company lacks $5 million, right? How about I find a way to solve this issue?" Jade burst out laughing with no end in sight. She merely glanced at Daryl and said, "Daryl, can you even comprehend the value of $5 million? Dear Lily gives you $200 every day. If you can somehow fork out $5 million, perhaps I should start calling you Daddy." "Oh really?" said Daryl with a sly grin. "In that case, you better keep what you said in mind." Lily could not stand him any longer. Daryl must have lost his mind, standing among them looking like a peasant bothered Lily. She impatiently waved her hand. "Get lost. Stop being an eyesore around us." "Oh," he reacted and left without saying another word. Daryl was unable to sleep that night due to the excitement. He dared not believe that such good news would appear out of nowhere. He was determined to head to the bank in person to check the balance for himself. Daryl tossed and turned until dawn before barely falling asleep. However, halfway through his sweet slumber came the voice of his mother-in-law reverberating from the living room. "Daryl, wake up and send my daughter to work." Daryl heard his mother-in-law, Samantha's voice, in his sleep. He assumed that it was just a dream and simply turned his back and continued his slumber. At this moment, the bedroom door opened and in came Samantha giving him an impatient kick. "Are you deaf or dumb? Didn't you hear me calling you to send Lily to work?" said Samantha coldly. Daryl had to admit, Samantha was a beauty in her 30s. She took great care to maintain her looks. Daryl drowsily got up from the floor and stared at Samantha with a dumbfounded look on his face. "After 3 years of marriage, not once have I gone out with Lily, for she found me to be an embarrassment, and now out of sudden, she wants me to send her to work." Daryl thought to himself. It was right at that thought when Lily herself came into the room, dressed in her business attire. She stomped her feet in a rush. "Are you deaf? Be quick, or is it that you're not willing to send me?" "I'm willing. Daryl said. He nodded his head nonstop. He hastily put on a change of clothes, got on his electric bike, and drove Lily to her office. Lily was filled with fiery rage due to her company's lack of funds and the urgent need for a $5 million investment. However, she was not able to find an investor, and now her company is facing bankruptcy. An emergency meeting of shareholders was called to deal with this issue, and as the general manager of the company, her attendance was mandatory. It was only when she stepped out of the door in the morning that she realized that she had lent her car to Jade. As a last resort, she had no choice but to have Daryl send her to work. "Can't you go any faster? I'll be screwed if I'm late," said Lily impatiently at the sight of Daryl's slow-moving vehicle.